the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop. Let me out. Let me out. I want out.
Back again for another video. So, I'm going to change the course of things a little bit. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Redpill rage. I know. It is beat to death. It is talked about to death. But honestly, I've heard of a few people's rendition of the Redpill rage and what it stands for. And that's cool. I can get with that. But I have my own, of course, because I think a little differently about it. The clip that I just played for you guys is from The Matrix, of course. And in it, Morpheus is explaining to Neo that the lifestyle that he's been living is nothing but a construct. Now, in an abstract way, we can apply that construct of the Matrix as the social construct that we experience. It's not real. It doesn't exist. If it were to die today, humans would still exist. They may exist differently, but they would still exist. And in that video, I put a clip. Well, I didn't put the actual clip of the video, but I put the thumbnail for the screen as Neo holding up the battery. Now, this is also part of the story where Morpheus tells Neo that he has to accept that this is what the construct wants to turn you into. A disposable battery. And through that, which I'll cover in another video, and through that, Neo goes into a red pill rage because he does not want to accept the reality. Now, the video goes on to show that, the movie goes on to show the rest of the story, which I'm not going to get into in this video. But that's the point that I want to stop at. When a man is woken up from the Matrix, from the social construct, he is given the knowledge of what the true reality is. And he is also explained that he can never go back to that reality. Now, of course, we run into Cypher later on in the movie, and he makes a bargain with the agents that he can be put back to sleep, put back into a pot, but we never see this happen, right? So at this point, we don't know if that's actually true or possible. But Morpheus tells Neo later in the movie that, because Neo asks, can I go back into the Matrix asleep? And Morpheus replies, no, you can't. But if you had the option to, would you? Which Neo didn't reply to. Which I'll talk about in another video. But the point I want to make here is that once a man is awakened to the red pill ideology, he cannot go back in the way that he came, in the way that he once existed. He can't go back into the social construct lacking the understanding, which is the consciousness of what the reality is. But that's not my point. My point that I want to make is that a lot of people rag on dudes in Red Pill Rage because they're so dogmatic with their rhetoric. They believe definitely in all. They believe in absolutes. They believe in infinity, meaning that it is all inclusive and it will never end. They don't have a definite timeline of when things will cease to exist the way they are when it comes to female nature. And it's usually in a negative connotation. What I want to explain to people is that this isn't the way that it actually seems. Let me turn my computer on. This isn't the way that it actually seems. As a man who has went through the Red Pill Rage myself, though my experiences was very brief. I only went through it for like a couple of weeks and I was like, okay, time to start accepting things and move forward. Whereas the time that a man stays in Red Pill Rage can vary upon his own experience within that social construct along with his experiences outside that social construct and what he's learned and forced to face, because there are many portions of the red pill that are not the same, though they are inclusive of what the reality is. But there are many portions that make up the reality that are very different from one another. But what I want to explain to people is, don't be so hard on a dude that's in Red Pill Rage. The reason why is because, and this wasn't expressed in the movie per se. There was a point where Neo came out of the pod, and he fell into the water through the little tunnel or whatever, and he was picking up by the ship's system, whatever it was. It was like a human retrieval device or something, whatever it was. But he was picked up and he was immediately put into infirmary. And Neo opened his eyes and he said, "Why do my eyes hurt so much?" And Morpheus replies, "Because you never used them." And you can see the recovery process that he had to go through, because his muscles had atrophied from him not using them, from being in the Matrix for so long. And this is kind of what the reverse portion of it, of what I want to explain, of why you shouldn't rag on dudes who are on the Red Pill Rage, because that is his recovery state. He has to deflect, if not all, some but all feminine energy. Anything that looks like, even though he may be exhibited himself, when it comes to coming from a woman, he has to deflect it, because he came from a space where it was completely constructed, and he now entered into the reality. So he creates this cocoon, which is the Red Pill Rage, which is the dogmatic idea that everything that women do is wrong. And he tries to back this up with logical, well, it seems logical on the surface, but it's chocolate fallacies. But I'm just going to say he tried to back this up in his mind with logical rhetoric. But in reality, his actual rhetoric is a fantasy world, because it does not exist in the reality of things. And those who come out of Red Pill Rage, we definitely understand that. But those who have not been through Red Pill Rage, who just have the Red Pill knowledge and somehow got past that, don't understand that. And that can include women. Because women don't necessarily go through the Red Pill Rage, because, like I said before, women are the ones who are introducing men to Red Pill knowledge. And this is actually true through the movie too. When Neo was prompted on his computer he was actually talking to Trinity. Trinity is the one who told him to follow the White Rabbit. Trinity is also the one who introduced him to Morpheus, which he then gave the oxygen to the blue red pill. So yes, women are definitely the ones who lead men to the red pill, and they are also the ones who give men the red pill as well. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So these men, they try to deflect anything that comes from a woman, because they couldn't. They understood that they were in a gynocracy. They understood that when they came out of the red pill rage, or when they come out of the blue pill state of mind, or I'm just going to say blue pill because I need to make a completely entire different video about that, because I once said before, like I said, taking the blue pill is an option. There are men out there who would not give it an option. But anyways, so I'm just going to use that one. So taking or being in the blue pill world, rather, that's a better way to put it. Being in the blue pill world, and coming out of it through red pill, he has to defend himself some way, shape, or form, because his body is not made for, I guess you can say, taking on any parts of the reality. Some parts he can take on, well, I can't say it's taking on, but taking on that feminine energy, he can't take it on. So this is the reason why he deflects all the things that lead to femininity. He is very defensive of that. So don't take it out so much on the guy who's going through red pill rage in his dogmatic ways, because he's doing this so that he can protect himself, so that he can heal his inner man in order to come to terms with the reality a whole lot more clearer. Because the red pill rage is definitely a fantasy state, because once again it's propped up on absolutes, but absolutes do not exist. But anyways, I'm gonna make this video short. I'm gonna cut it here. There's probably gonna be a part 2, but sorry, I'm getting messages and I'm trying to read them. But anyway, there's probably going to be a part 2 to this, because I think there is more in-depth explanation I can go into. So I'm going to leave it at here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and share. If you got anything to add to it, of course, add it. If you have any complaints, add those too. But until next time, this has been the Wolf in Braided Clothes. May you have a good day, and peace be with you.